Greed, hatred, and delusion in Buddhism are considered the three fundamental toxins that cause suffering and prevent liberation. A detailed analysis of them helps us understand their origins and harmful effects in life. Greed. Definition. Greed is an insatiable desire, wanting to possess things we like or don't have. Greed is not limited to material possessions, but also includes fame, power, recognition, and other forms of desire. Origin. Greed stems from egoism, selfishness, and misunderstanding of happiness. People often attach joy to external things, such as money, assets, or relationships, but do not realize that these things are impermanent and will fade away. Harm. When greed dominates, people can be trapped in a cycle of never being satisfied. Greed leads to actions such as deceit, exploitation, and conflict, causing suffering for oneself and others. Greed also creates anxiety due to the fear of losing what one has. Manifestation in life. 1. Pulling in, expressing the desire to possess. 2. Clinging, getting stuck on what one craves, becoming dependent and immersed. 3. Shifting, once obtaining one thing, wanting something else. When a goal is achieved, satisfaction with the current is short-lived, and the search for something more appealing begins. Greed reaches its peak when it turns into stealing or killing to satisfy it. That's why it is said that greed is bottomless. A greedy person never knows when to stop and always desires more. For instance, someone already wealthy still wants more, or someone with fame desires more power. This leads to a constant loop of insecurity. Hatred, anger, resentment. Definition. Hatred is anger, resentment, and negative reactions when encountering something unpleasant. It is a powerful emotion that easily flares up when people cannot control their feelings. Origin. Hatred arises from the inability to accept reality, to accept the unpleasant things that happen. When personal expectations are not met, anger easily arises. Harm. Hatred not only harms those affected but also causes suffering to the angry person. When angry, the body releases toxic chemicals, harming health and disturbing the mind. Hatred also fosters hostility, damages relationships, and creates bad karma. Manifestation in life. When greed is not satisfied, anger arises. 1. Pushing away, rejecting, expelling, or denying the object. 2. Shifting anger, unleashing anger on the first person and then continuing on to the second, commonly known as kicking the cat. 3. Rejection, avoiding, fearing, or fleeing from the object. Hatred brings discomfort, frustration, and jealousy. Anger makes people lose clarity of thought. A person prone to anger often overreacts, easily leading to conflict. They may say hurtful words, resort to violence, or even destroy others just to satisfy their own anger. Delusion. Definition. Delusion is blindness, failing to perceive the true nature of things. It is a state of mind that is unknowing, lacking clarity, and clouded by mistakes and illusions. It reflects ignorance, lack of right view, and poor judgment. It is the inability to discern right from wrong, good from evil. Origin. Delusion arises from ignorance, specifically not understanding the Four Noble Truths, not recognizing the impermanent, suffering-filled, and selfless nature of life. Due to ignorance, people are trapped in the illusion that the world is real and that they must seek happiness within it. Harm. Delusion is the root of all mistakes. When deluded, people easily engage in harmful acts. Delusion prevents us from seeing the truth, distinguishing right from wrong, good from bad, leading to bad karma and harming ourselves and society. Manifestation in life. Deluded people may chase after unrealistic things, regardless of consequences. They do not understand the impermanence of life and relationships, so they cling to them blindly, leading to suffering when they lose them. The three poisons, greed, hatred, and delusion, interact to form a triangle. Around this triangle, endless suffering revolves. Greed creates desire, hatred arises when desires are unmet, and delusion prevents us from seeing the truth of all things, causing us to continue being reborn in the cycle of samsara. To attain liberation, one must recognize and overcome these three poisons, cultivating compassion, wisdom, and mindfulness. Welcome to our YouTube channel. Today we will explore together the three poisons, greed, anger, and ignorance in Buddhism, and how they affect our daily lives. Furthermore, we will learn how to overcome them to live happier and more peaceful lives. In modern life, we are easily caught up in the whirlpool of greed, a desire that is never satisfied. Greed is not only material desire, but also fame, power, and recognition from others. This character has achieved much success, but greed makes him always want more. Greed does not stop at possessions, but also extends to the constant search for other things, leading to insecurity and anxiety. In life, we often fall into the trap of greed. When we get one thing, we want another. This not only causes stress, but also takes away the joy of life. So how to get rid of greed? Learn to know enough and realize that happiness does not come from external things. Next, we will talk about anger and hatred when faced with undesirable things. Let's look at a situation that any of us may encounter. When we are controlled by anger, our emotions explode negatively, leaving us unable to think clearly. Small acts like jostling in traffic can make us lose control. But remember, anger does not solve the problem, it only makes us more miserable. To overcome anger, practice recognizing your emotions and learn to let go. We cannot control everything around us, but we can control how we react to them. Finally, we will talk about delusion, ignorance. Ignorance is when we cannot see the truth of things, trapped in illusions and misunderstandings. Delusion makes us unable to distinguish between truth and falsehood, right and wrong. This character is immersed in the illusion of the bargain he received, without knowing that he has been deceived. To overcome psi, we need to develop wisdom and awareness, always question ourselves and re-examine what we believe. Remember, this world is always changing, and only understanding can help us see the truth clearly. The three poisons of greed, anger, and stupidity exist in each of us. But through identifying and overcoming them, we can live a more peaceful and pure life. Learn to develop compassion, wisdom, and mindfulness in your every action and thought. Thank you for watching the video. If you find it useful, don't forget to click like and subscribe to receive more interesting videos. See you again in the next topics.